Hello, good morning and welcome once more again. Today I am excited to bring to you EB-3 visa, a pathway to migrate to the United States in 2025. The EB-3 visa is one of the employment-based immigrant visas that provide foreign nationals with an opportunity to live and work in the United States permanently. It is a popular pathway for skilled workers, professionals, and unskilled workers who wish to contribute their skills to the U.S. economy. In this report, we will deal into the aspects of what are the eligibility, types, requirements, and processing times for the EB-3 visa in 2025, along with answering frequently asked questions to be able to guide you as a prospective applicant of the EB-3 visa. Overview of EB-3 visa. The EB-3 visa is an employment-based third preference visa category. It allows qualified foreign workers to enter and remain in the U.S. for employment purposes. This visa has three distinct subcategories, and each is designed for different types of workers. We shall be tackling each and every one of them at a time. So we look at the first subcategory, which is for skilled workers, those with at least 2 years of training or experience in a specific occupation. Professionals, individuals with a U.S. bachelor's degree or its foreign equivalent, and who will work in a position that requires such a degree. Then we have what you're calling what? Unskilled workers or other workers. People whose jobs require less than 2 years of training or experience and are considered unskilled labor. The EB-3 visa is an attractive option for many applicants because it offers a pathway to permanent residence green card in the United States. Eligibility or requirement for the EB-3 visa. To qualify for the EB-3 visa, applicant must meet a certain criteria based on their subcategory. The basic eligibility requirement include skilled workers. So the applicant for what you're calling the skilled workers must have at least 2 years of work experience or training in a specific occupation. The job must require a minimum of 2 years of training or experience. The applicant must meet the specific job application as determined by the U.S. employer. Professionals. For the professionals, the applicant must possess a U.S. bachelor's degree or its equivalent. Then the applicant must be filing a position that requires at least a bachelor's degree. Then apart from that, we are saying that the applicant must be qualified for the job through education, training, or either way, experience. The third category is for the unskilled workers or other workers. So the applicant here must be willing to perform labor that requires less than 2 years of experience or training. The job must be classified as unskilled labor by the U.S. Department of Labor, DOL. Applicants in this category may face longer wait times due to the lower demand for unskilled labor and higher processing backlogs. General eligibility for all subcategories. A valid job offer from a U.S. employer is required. The job must be permanent, full-time, and non-seasonal. The U.S. employer must obtain a labor certificate from the Department of Labor, DOL, to prove there are no qualified U.S. workers available for the position. The applicant must not be inadmissible to the U.S. due to reasons such as criminal history, immigration violations, or health-related issues. So for you also to be admitted in U.S., you must not have been one who has committed criminal allegations, or you don't have criminal history, migration violations, or health-related issues. You must be healthy for you to go through this. Types of EB-3 visa. So the EB-3 visa is divided into 3 categories based on the applicant's qualifications and job requirement. So the first one, skilled workers, EB-3A. This category is for individuals who possess at least 2 years of work experience or training in a skilled occupation. Skilled workers are typically in fields such as healthcare, construction, and technology. Professionals, EB-3B. Professionals are individuals with a U.S. bachelor's degree or its foreign equivalent and are filing positions that require such qualification. Common examples include engineers, scientists, and architects. Unskilled workers, other workers, EB-3C. This category is for those seeking to work in positions that require less than 2 years of training or experience. Examples include food service workers, janitors, and laborers in industries such as agriculture and manufacturing. EB-3 visa requirement. What are the requirements for this particular visa for you to be given? So, the requirement to apply for the EB-3 visa depend on the category, skilled, professional, or unskilled worker. However, common requirements will include labor certification. The applicant's U.S. employer must apply for and receive a labor certification from the Department of Labor. Then the employer must demonstrate that there are no qualified U.S. workers available to take up the job. The job offer. The applicant must have a permanent full-time job offer from a U.S. employer. The employer must prove that the job meets the requirement qualification for the EB-3 category. Form I-140 immigrant petition for alien workers. After obtaining labor certification, the employer must file Form I-140 on behalf of the applicant. The form serves as a petition to classify the foreign worker for a green card under the EB-3 category. Form I-485, application to adjust status. If the applicant is already in the US, they can file Form I-485 to adjust their status to a permanent resident after the I-140 is approved. If the applicant is outside the US, they must go through consular processing to get a visa from a US embassy or consulate. Proof of education and experience. Applicants must provide educational degrees, diplomas, and certificates to demonstrate they meet the qualification of the job. Employment records or references may be required to prove work experience, medical examination, and security clearance. They'll also need to check that to confirm that you are healthy and you don't have any security issues or criminal history in the past. Applicants must undergo medical examination from an authorized physician. And then background checks, they are also compulsory. And the security clearance are also mandatory to ensure the applicant is not inadmissible due to criminal or immigration violation. Processing time and duration for the EB-3 visa. The processing time for an EB-3 visa can vary based on several factors such as the applicant's country of origin of the visa and the United States workload also. On average, the entire process can take anywhere from 1.5 to 3 years, with some applicants experiencing delays depending on backlogs and administrative processing. Key stages of the EB-3 processing timeline. Labor certification takes 6 to 12 months. I-140 petition processing typically 6 to 12 months, though it may vary depending on the USCIS Services Center. Consular processing or adjustment of status. If outside the US, applicants can expect 6 to 12 months for consular processing. If adjusting status within the US, it may take a year or more. The visa validity generally extends for 6 months, and the applicant must enter the US within this period. Once approved, the applicant can stay in the US permanently. Frequently asked questions. Can I apply for the EB-2 visa if I'm already in the US on a temporary visa? Yes, you can apply for the EB-3 visa through adjustment of status if you're already in the US legally on a temporary visa such as tourist or work visa. Can my family join me with an EB-3 visa? Yes, your spouse and unmarried children under the age of 21 can apply for derivative visas, EB-3 dependent visa, to accompany you to the US. Is there a limit for the number of EB-3 visa issued each year? Yes, there is an annual cap on the number of EB-3 visas issued. The number of EB-3 visa is subject to the overall limit of employment-based green cards, 140,000 annually. This can result in delays, particularly for the countries with high demand such as India or China. Can I change employers while on EB-3 petition is pending? If your Form I-140 has been approved, you can switch employers, but you must ensure that the new employer offers a job that is similar to the one for which the I-140 was filed. In certain cases, you can change employers after 6 months if the I-140 has been approved and your adjustment status application is pending. Can the EB-3 visa be denied? Yes, the EB-3 visa application can be denied for reasons such as lack of eligibility, failure to provide required documentation, or if the employer found to be in violation of labor laws. Conclusion: the EB-3 offers reliable and attainable pathway to U.S. permanent residency for skilled professionals and unskilled workers. While the process can be lengthy, particularly with backlogs in certain countries, the EB-3 visa remains an excellent option for qualified individuals looking to make a new life in the United States. With a solid understanding of the requirements, processing steps, and potential roadblocks, applicants can enhance their chances of success in their immigration journey. So with this in mind, remember to hit the subscription button, share, like, comment, and let us do this together.